With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.
The Golden Eagles are showing some true grit. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry, alongside the star of the show, Tennessee Tech head coach Watson Brown. I'm your host, Buddy Pearson. Well, the Golden Eagles showed some true grit on Saturday night, overcoming some injuries and mistakes, and with a come-from-behind, thrilling 29-22 victory over the Mercer University Bears in the home opener at Tucker Stadium. Coach, it's always good to be at home, but it's even better when you can get a win.
We'll take the wins anywhere, wouldn't we, over anything. But it was really nice to be home. I think it helped in the game. I think being on the road twice, I think we grew up some on the road. Honestly, might have gained some confidence from the two teams that we played, and I thought confidence mattered in the fourth quarter to come back and win the game. But you said it exactly right, the grit of the grind. We had to grind the whole game to win it. Our kids were gritty all the way through and found a way to win at the end. And
a good home atmosphere, a big crowd there, and just having the team under the lights at Tucker Stadium, just very comfortable and very fulfilling. I know there's a lot of folks in the stands.
Well, it's our home games have become nice crowds through the years, and the tailgating, the atmosphere of everything, I think it really does help, and I think it gives us a 3 to 7 point advantage when we play here.
Yeah. The Golden Eagles certainly were flying high early on as we check out the first half highlights brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville. After the new tradition, the running of the freshmen and Dr. Oldham, it was the Golden Eagles who run out to an excited crowd at Tucker Stadium. Coach, it didn't take long. Second play of the game, Chris Cates made himself a factor. Jared Davis finds him on a post route, and just like that, the Golden Eagles are up.
It was nice to get Chris going. It's amazing that I brought Chris in this week and talked to him about becoming that go-to guy out there on the outside to help us, and by golly, he took it to the best possible way he could take it, and went out and had 7 catches as OVC Player of the Week. I think a couple of other services have named him Player of the Week. So what a heck of a game he had, and what a great time to do it with Brock McCoy getting hurt in the early second quarter of the game.
Yeah, Cates here with a 38-yard pickup after that 74-yard touchdown, and it just seemed like Davis and Cates had it going on early. John Russ here looking for his big tight end across the middle, and Mercer answers with a score.
Mercer answered all night long. They hung right with us, and we jumped them early and had a 21-6 lead, let it get to 21-12 before the half, and then I'm going to tell you in the third quarter they took it to us, but we came back and won the game. So this nearly was a score. He got very close to scoring on that play. Nice run by Jared off of the quarterback read here, and I'd like to see him get down a little lower, not take the shots he takes sometimes. Here's where we lost Brock.
Pivotal part of the game. Brock just looks like he got his bell rung, kind of got crushed between two Bear defenders.
Got hit on the back of the head, and slight concussion. I think he's already on the clock to come back, but what a great run here by Ladarius, and blocked really well on the left side of our offensive line.
Tried to get in the end zone, just couldn't make it.
Scored on the next play, I think Dorian Carter did. This was a missed assignment where our linebacker didn't take the quarterback and gave them probably their longest run of the night, to be very honest. But played a really good first half, but yet we're still 21-12. It's still a ball game, and yet I don't know that our offense could play much better in the first half. But Mercer came back in the second half and answered.
Well, the good thing, while you were putting up touchdowns, the Mercer Bears were putting up field goals, and you had that 9-point lead at halftime.
There's no doubt the two big things in the game, the big plays we had, they didn't. We kept the ball in front of us on defense. They got yards, but it was short yards. And field goals to touchdowns when both teams got to the red zone. That was the two big differences in the game.
Well, it certainly was an exciting second half. The Golden Eagles almost let the game slip away before putting together a thrilling game-winning drive as we check out the second half highlights brought to you by Miller Lite. And the second half didn't exactly start the way the Golden Eagles wanted to. It started with Jimmy Robinson of Mercer making a nice return, 34 yards. And, Coach, you always hate to see the second half start that way.
Oh, it's a killer. We don't play better and contain the ball here. We let the ball get outside us and missed some tackles and gave them another 10, 12 yards after we missed tackles on the side. Drove right down the field and scored, and just not a good start. We get it back in 3 plays and out.
Yep.
They drive it right back down the field again. Before you can say hello, they've got the lead in the late third quarter here. So,
speaking of hello, Dante Rudolph introduces himself to Walker, the tight end, with a nice little shot right there.
Dante will pop you now. He will do that. But again, got it down, took it in the end zone and scored, and now we're behind, believe it or not. And
this is what you like to see, Ladarius Van Leer returning a kickoff.
This was our second series of the second half, and got nice position here and don't make a first down, I don't think, and punted it right back to them, and all of a sudden the third quarter's over. Those 2 long drives, you can see we're already changed field, and we're now in the fourth quarter here. And it's 22-21. Again, too many runs up the middle for 15-yard gains. Here's the last drive of the game. This is how quick the second half was. I think we had 4 possessions in the second half, so it was a quick half. But Jared took us 80 yards here. And
Jordan Smith with a nice move, and then there's the man.
And here was the play on, I think it's third down. And through a post corner, we were going to kick a field goal to try to take the lead. If not, and here was the 2-point play. And we knew they were probably going to double him. We said, we don't care. Just throw it up to him and let him go get it, because he's got great jumps, and he was hot and he was playing well, and so throw it to him again. Exactly.
Jared Davis, 18 of 26, 301 yards and a touchdown. Chris Cates, phenomenal night, 7 receptions, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was the Ohio Valley Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Ladarius Van Leer, 12 rushes for 46 yards, but he had a nice kickoff return. And, Coach, some big performances by your defense. Darius Goff, 16 tackles. Jay Rudwall, 13 tackles. And I think Jordan Patrick, who was playing rather injured, 10 tackles.
Our older guys came through for us. That's what happened. We're playing so many young guys. The older players on our defense have got to step up, buddy. We're going to get better on defense. I really think that. Now, we've played 3 really good offenses in a row, but we're also not playing well. We've got to play better on defense. I think we will. I think a lot of these young kids are going to grow up.
Well, I know the OVC actually began play. There were some OVC games, not just some of the FBS games that we've seen, as we take a look at the Ohio Valley Conference scoreboard brought to you by Haibu. The #1 team in the land, who's also ranked #3 in the coaches poll, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, continue to roll, and they put a whooping on TSU 48-13 elsewhere. It was Southeast Missouri rallying to tie the game. They go for 2, didn't get it. They wound up losing to the Sycamores of Indiana State 29-28. Elsewhere, it was Austin Peay, a big loser to Vanderbilt. Western Michigan rolls over Murray State. And it was Eastern Illinois taking the #5 team in the land to overtime before Illinois State comes away with a 34-31 win. Coach, anything that really stands out to you in those scores?
Well, Jacksonville State just dominant in everything they're doing. It's just they're dominating everybody that they play. I thought EIU, it was a great showing that they're still going to be a force when we get into conference play. And Southeast Missouri playing Indiana State, a good game. Now, they were down 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They changed quarterbacks and put in a true freshman quarterback that went crazy in the fourth quarter. So This is a good league. I think that shows that you better be ready to play every week. We're going to have a tough time winning games.
Eastern Illinois 0-3. I can't remember the last time they started 0-3.
No, 2 division FBSs, 2 Division I's, and Illinois State, who's
Tough
ranked
competition
5th in the country. So they've played 3 tough games.
Yep. Hey, don't go anywhere because we got more Watson Brown Show coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry. It's time now for the Golden Eagle Player Profile, brought to you by Zaxby's. This week we visit with half of the Jay and Trey show. That is linebacker Jay Rudwall. Check it out.
Most influential person in my life was my dad. I think there's a lot to be said about a father-son bond and how that helps raising the men that we become today and the man that I am today. So for sure, definitely most influential person is my father. The thing that I think that I will remember the most in my time here as a Golden Eagle would be the small things, hanging out with teammates on and off the field. Those small memories I think are the most bonding memories and the things that I'll hold on to the most. I say the thing that I want to work on the most to get better for next season would be my flexibility, and with that going on to my speed. I think those things are directly correlated, so by becoming more flexible and having more fluidity around the field and my motion, movement patterns and so on, that would help me improve my game for sure. The one player on the team that I look up to the most is my roommate Colton Blue. I feel like Colton is extremely selfless when it comes to his goals for the team. I feel like he's selfless in terms of playing time and whether or not he gets to see the ball. Receivers go overlooked a lot of times and they're blocking assignments, and they only kind of get praise whenever they catch the ball or make big touchdowns or anything like that. And I think that a guy like him who takes more pride in blocking all the time and is consistent all the time, doesn't miss workouts, and always has the team first in his mind, that's what I look up to the most. It's hard to say in 5 years, but hopefully my plan from now is to graduate and then get my master's here at Tennessee Tech. So 5 years from now, hopefully have a good job. I'm a finance major, so I'd like to see something in that field. So a finance major, who knows where I'll live. That's the cool part about it, but also an MBA from Tennessee Tech. I think the thing that I would hope that people remember about me is that just I'm a hard-working guy. And that would be the number one thing that defined me, is that I worked hard my time here at Tech, whether it was on the field, off the field, through the team or for the team, that I was a hard-working guy, and that's what came first for me, was that working hard for the team was my number one thing.
Coach, he's also a very fiery guy. You can really see his passion come out in that late drive or that late stop that Tennessee Tech got. He was all over the field. He was getting his teammates pumped up, and I think really had a big impact in that football game.
I think he's one of the leaders of our team, and he does it in 2 ways. He does it in his work habits. They see that, but then he also does it by word of mouth. So he has both pieces of good leadership, and we've got a good senior class, but he is one of our better leaders, and we're very proud of Jay.
Did you tell him to get the haircut?
No, but I was glad he did.
He looks like a different guy.
Yeah, it's about time for him to go make some money, so we need to get his haircut.
Well, there have been some great basketball players come through Tennessee Tech, and this week we find out what Henry McCarley is up to in our Where Have They Landed feature, brought to you by the OVC Digital Network.
Henry McCarley, and I was at Tech in 1954 through 1958. I played basketball 54 through 56. I grew up in western Kentucky, a little town of Auburn, Kentucky. I was a farm boy. I went there on a basketball scholarship. And when I was a senior, I was the first person in my family to go to college. And so Coach Brown and Coach Pangle offered me a scholarship. and I chose to go there. Well, it was a good year because I was learning all the time I was there, and Coach Oldham was a good guy to learn from, and I thought maybe I might want to be a coach someday. And then that year, but that particular year, that senior year, we had some seniors that had been around a long time, and then we won the OVC, went to the NCAA tournament, but they wouldn't let those guys play because they were freshmen. So we had kind of a skeleton crew when we played in the NCAA. Well, when they wouldn't let them play, there was nobody else to play. I mean, the experienced players weren't allowed to play, so we were down at a different level. And then I think we played Notre Dame, and Notre Dame just kind of walked over us. I came back to Kentucky then and bought into a company, moved here 39 years ago, and bought into a company here. And then we kept that company for about 5 more years and sold it to Cargill. I stayed on then for about another 5 or 6 years, and they downsized me out at 56 years old. I took the flag down and closed the door. And then I had a John Deere dealership in Russellville, and then we sold that. And then I had another partner, and I went into the manufacturing business out of Guthrie, Kentucky. We made replacement parts and went into a harvester silo. And we had some fun with that company. My name is Henry McCarley, and I've landed in Lexington, Kentucky, and this is my retirement home.
I think everybody wants to have a retirement home at some point, and he looks like he's
good.
in.
I'd like to have one.
Yeah, he's
I'm
enjoying
getting there
his.
too. You're still too young. You can't.
Not yet. Yeah, I'm ready to retire mentally, but just not yet. Yeah. We better talk about something else. Yeah.
That whole bunch. When I was growing up, I was a huge Tech basketball and football fan. I was probably 7, 8 years old in Old Memorial Gym and watched those guys, Kenny Sidwell, and when they went to the NC2As and got beat, I remember crying. Really? Listening to it on the radio and crying when they got beat. So that brings back some fond memories. There were some good basketball teams in those days.
Yeah, there were some really good players. Well, it's time now to see what the other fall sports are up to around campus as we check in with Dylan Fasano in this week's Golden Eagle Update.
Thanks, buddy. Well, Tech football, they're not the only sport to put a lid on non-conference action this past weekend. We'll start on the pitch with Tech soccer, wrapping up a 3-match homestand, a 1-1 draw against Chattanooga. It was a match that saw sophomore Mary Frances Hoots score her 2nd goal of the season. That's the most on the team. And for the Golden Eagles, they'll open up OVC play Thursday at Belmont, and then Sunday they'll be at Jacksonville State. Tech volleyball hosted a non-conference tournament, Golden Eagle Invitational, and on Friday, as part of a 4-set victory against Western Carolina, senior Cody Dodd had 25 kills. Junior Sharon Anderson tied a career high with 55 assists. And for Tech volleyball over the weekend, they'll beat Eastern Illinois and SIUE to begin OVC action. Banner news from Golden Eagle women's golf. Sophomore Allison Dunn in the Murray State Invitational this past week. She fired off a final round score of 69. That was tied for 2nd lowest in Tennessee Tech history. For her efforts, she finished in a tie for 4th in the field of 75, and the Golden Eagle team finished in 3rd out of 12. That's your Golden Eagle update. Buddy, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. A 69. That's my 9-hole score, Coach. Good.
I've had a few 9-holes at 69.
That's some good play going on. Hey, stick around. We got more Watson Brown Show coming up. Don't go away.
In the NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision, the game is played with perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship as he works to honor the game and respect his teammates, opponents, officials, and fans. Every FCS player grows in his responsibilities as a student athlete and as a member of his campus and community. The NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision. Every down, every day.
Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry. Well, you know, there's nothing like being quizzed by a 3rd grader, and that's what Stephen Bush is doing. And Jerry Whitson student Isaac Juan Mendez has a few questions for Bush in our Kids Corner, brought to you by Pepsi.
How old were you when you started playing football?
I was 8 years old.
How did you get good at football?
You got to work very, very hard.
Is football scary?
No, football's not scary. Football's fun.
What other sports do you like?
I used to play baseball, so I guess I like baseball, but football is the king of all sports.
How old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
Do you ever get in trouble?
I don't ever get in trouble. No, not nearly as much as Brock anyway. Brock McCoy. He likes to stay in trouble. Do you play football?
Kind of.
Kind of. Do you play any other sports besides football?
Soccer.
Soccer? Who's your favorite soccer player?
Messi.
Messi? How old are you?
8.
8? What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza? It's a popular answer around here today. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? Why not purple and gold, like the Golden Eagles?
Yeah, Coach, why not purple and gold? I mean, you'd think those kids would be, you know, like it's purple and gold.
That's a true golden eagle right there in Stephen Bush. He's trying to get anybody he can in purple and gold. Soccer guy might be a kicker someday. He's already recruiting. Will we be turned into the NC2A?
I hope not.
We're
recruiting
recruit these
third
kids at too young of an age. I don't know. But.
Oh, goodness. Well, with T2 celebrating its centennial, we focus each week on a special moment on the Golden Eagle gridiron. This week, it's Marty Jones's great game against EKU last season.
You don't need to go back too far into the annals of time to find one of the most remarkable individual defensive performances in Tennessee Tech history. In fact, not even a full year. It was on October 18th of last season that sixth-year senior Marty Jones, the oldest player on the Golden Eagle roster, set Ohio Valley Conference and TTU records with 4 interceptions in a single game. His efforts helped Tennessee Tech upset 12th-ranked Eastern Kentucky in a game that saw the Golden Eagles score 29 in the fourth quarter, erasing a 3-touchdown deficit in the final period. It was Tech's annual blackout night, and Jones turned out the lights on the Colonels on the way to a 39-31 Golden Eagle victory, picking off 4 passes to stall the visitors. Then, Jones scored what proved to be the winning points as well. As the holder on place kicks, he took the snap and raced around the left end, diving into the end zone with a 2-point conversion to put Tech ahead 32-31. For his feat, Marty was named the OVC and National Defensive Player of the Week.
Looks like a pretty happy coach there.
You got a pretty good hug from me, would you say? It's a
What a
2-point
game.
play that took the lead in the game, which was a drop snap, by the way.
I thought you called that, Coach.
No. We can't take credit for that. But 4 interceptions, and the last interception sealed the game.
Yeah.
But what a game. I've never had a secondary guy have 4 and to be critical 4 and to be down as far as we were and come back and win the game.
Yep.
Real proud of it.
Well, I know your secondary will get challenged a little bit this week as the Golden Eagles open up OVC play by traveling to Murray, Kentucky to take on the Racers of Murray State, and they like to throw the ball just a little.
Oh, and we've played so bad there through the years of Tennessee Tech. Let's don't go back and do that story. I'm not sure we
that's not a centennial moment.
Not sure we won 1 out of 5 when we go there, to tell you the truth, buddy. So we got to turn it around a little bit and see if we can't play better at Murray. And their offense is very hard to stop. They're just going to spread you all over the field. They got fast guys all over the place. They've been, since they went to this style back 5-6 years ago, it's just been really hard to beat. We were able to get them here last year.
Yeah.
And we've played them really well at home. We've only lost to them once here in Cookeville, but we've yet to win in Murray since I've been here. So we look forward to the game. Special
teams was a big storyline last year in that football game. Do you anticipate it being a big storyline again this year?
Well, yes, in 2 ways. Number one, you got to stop their special teams. They've got great returners, and we do too. So I think it's a very dangerous night for both teams on special teams. There can be some big plays off of special teams. This young man's a receiver that's a great player, and that was a big turnover in the game right there, and that's Keith Flanagan, I think, taking that back Yes, I do think special teams will be big, and we want to match their returners. Our returners are pretty good too.
Well, when you got the all-time leading kickoff return guy in Ladarius Van Leer, I think we can match him as far as that goes.
And they've got two really good ones, and too. So every time the ball is snapped in this game, look out for big plays, because both teams have a lot of big play players. This young man's their quarterback named Humphreys, and he's back as a junior, a second-year starter. Good thrower, good runner. We've struggled with running quarterbacks here, as you well know, and so I'm highly concerned. I think we've got our work cut out for us, and we're going to have to find a way to win the game like we did last week. Just hang in there and try to find a way to win it late.
And it'll be tough. It'll be the LVC home opener for them. Racer 1 will be fed his oats and ready to run around the track.
Do we have to bring that up? I don't want to talk about that horse. I've seen that horse fly around that track enough in my time.
Well, hopefully he won't be making too many trips around the track on Saturday.
Hope you're right.
Well, Coach, we certainly wish you the best of luck. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. You can listen to the radio broadcast starting at 5:30 on KISS 98.5, and, of course, read all about it in the Herald-Citizen. For Tennessee Tech head coach Watson Brown, I'm Buddy Pearson. See you next week on the Watson Brown Show.
The Watson Brown Show has been brought to you by IWC Cash and Carry, Zaxby's, Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville, Miller Lite, Haibu, and Pepsi.
With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.